Jennifer Hudson and Common looked like the kind of couple people root for instantly, not because the internet needed another celebrity romance, but because on the surface, they represented something bigger than a trend. Two respected artists, two household names, to people who had survived enough life to understand what really matters when they showed up in public smiling. Calm, comfortable fans didn't just see a relationship. They saw a story. A victory story. And like every good story, it started with a fantasy. People called them a power couple. A balanced pair. It's a kind of match that made sense even to strangers scrolling through clips late at night. Jennifer, Oscar and Grammy winner. A voice that feels like strength turned into music. Common, a Grammy and Academy Award winning artist too, known not only for his talent but for his thoughtful image and activism. It felt like destiny. It felt clean. It felt safe. But the truth is, what looks calm on camera can hide complicated reality behind it. For months, fans watched their interviews like detectives. Every smile became evidence. Every pause became a clue. Every little joke between them became fuel for rumors. Were they serious? Were they secretly engaged? Was the chemistry real or just good TV? And then the whispers changed tone. It wasn't just they're together. Suddenly it became somethings. Off a few blogs hinted at distance. Few comments noticed less interaction. People started reading into what wasn't being posted. What wasn't being said, and the more silent Jennifer stayed, the louder the internet got. That's when the story turned into something else. 'Cause this wasn't just about dating anymore. It became a question everyone wanted answered. What really happened behind those smiles? According to Jennifer, the relationship wasn't fake. It wasn't a publicity trick. It wasn't just friends. It was real. But real doesn't always mean right. And that is where the heartbreak begins, because the truth Jennifer eventually shared didn't sound like scandal. It sounded like something deeper, something grown, something that makes you stop and realize sometimes two good people can care about each other and still not be able to build a future. So before we get to what she revealed, we need to understand how this started. People believed so hard in them, and what kind of pressure builds when the whole world is watching your love story like it's a TV show. Because when the spotlight is bright enough, it doesn't just show your best angles, it also exposes every crack. Their beginning didn't look like a movie scene. It didn't start with a romantic dinner in Paris or a surprise proposal on a private beach. It started with something much more normal for celebrities. In 2022. Jennifer launched a new chapter of her career, her daytime talk show. The Jennifer Hudson Show quickly became a major platform. Interviews, music, laughter. Big moments, big guests, and Common stepped into that world as a guest. From the second he appeared, viewers felt something. Not just a celebrity's being friendly, but a kind of energy that made people lean closer to their screens. Their conversation flowed. The jokes landed. The smiles stayed a little longer than expected. Fans noticed how Jennifer leaned in when he spoke, how Common seemed relaxed and warm. And in the online world, that's all it takes. One clip can become a whole theory. Soon after, people began connecting dots. They'd both been at the same events before. They shared friends. Their circles overlapped, and both of them had lived through enough public life to understand how complicated love could get. Jennifer had endured a tragedy so painful that it changed her entire world. She rebuilt her life carefully. She guarded what mattered most: her son, her peace, her safety. Common had a long dating history that the public knew about. High-profile relationships, high-profile attention, and a reputation that followed him everywhere. Charming, respected, but often seen as someone who didn't settle down easily. So when fans started hearing about sightings, restaurants, quiet meets, small trips, rumors didn't feel random. They felt believable. Entertainment blogs started pushing the story hard. Headlines weren't asking anymore. They were declaring Hollywood's newest power couple. And what made the rumor stronger? Was this? Neither of them rushed to deny it. No big announcement, no dramatic confession. Okay? No, yes, we're together in bold letters. But people don't need confirmation when the vibes feel obvious, because here's what the public saw. Jennifer looked lighter in interviews. Common looked happier in conversations. They complimented each other with a kind of respect that didn't feel scripted, and then came the moment that turned curiosity into a full-blown obsession. Common described a mystery girlfriend on Jennifer's show. Beautiful. Talented. Admired. He didn't say Jennifer's name. He didn't need to. The audience reacted like they knew. Jennifer's expression gave people just enough to scream, "That's her." The clip spread fast. Fans replayed it again and again like a scene from a romance series. And that's when Jennifer Hudson and Common stopped being two celebrities dating. They became a headline relationship, a symbol. A couple people wanted to win, but what fans didn't understand was this. The connection was real, but the foundation wasn't as simple as it looked. Once the internet decides you're a couple, don't get to date quietly anymore. Every appearance becomes a statement. Every photo becomes proof. Every time you don't show up together, people assume something is wrong. That's what happened to Jennifer and Common. They weren't just seen as famous people dating. People projected meaning onto them. They represented resilience. They represented success after pain. They represented a kind of love people wanted to see, especially in an industry where relationships often look temporary and performative. So the media leaned in hard. Blogs wrote daily updates from tiny details. Fan pages posted compilations. Comment sections turned into debates. They're engaged. No, it's PR. He finally changed. She deserves better. And the brighter the spotlight got, the more pressure built. Because a real relationship isn't built for an audience. A real relationship needs privacy to breathe. Jennifer especially valued protection. After everything she'd lived through, her peace wasn't negotiable. Her home life wasn't a stage. Her son wasn't part of anyone's entertainment, but public fascination. Doesn't care about boundaries? Fans started asking bigger questions. Is marriage next? Will Common become part of Jennifer's family life? Can he truly settle down? Is he serious this time? These weren't just fan questions. Journalists repeated them. Bloggers amplified them. Insiders hinted at things. People started treating the relationship like a storyline that needed updates. And here's the thing about pressure. It doesn't just sit outside the relationship, it leaks in. Because once the world is watching, the relationship has to fight on two fronts. The normal challenges every couple faces, the extra weight of being judged every day, and Jennifer later made it clear behind the scenes. The relationship wasn't as effortless as that public believed. Not because there was drama, but because there were differences that don't disappear. Just because you love each other, different schedules, different responsibilities, different definitions of the future. And those differences, quiet at first, became louder over time. People often assume breakups happen because someone cheated, plead, or caused a scandal. But many relationships end for a simpler reason. The fit isn't right even. If the feelings are dot, Jennifer built her life around stability, her son, her career, a schedule that required consistency, a home that needed calm. Common's life, by nature, involved movement travel, studios, shoots, projects, opportunities that could change week to week. That difference alone can create strain. And when distance enters, small misunderstandings grow faster. A missed call becomes a bigger issue. A delayed visit feels heavier. Schedules stop aligning. Plans become maybe instead of done. On top of that, Jennifer's need for privacy wasn't just preference, it was survival. She had learned what it means to protect her world. Common, while not reckless, lived in a different kind of public rhythm. His identity, his brand, his work often existed in public conversation. Then there was the question nobody wanted to say out loud. But everyone whispered anyway. Commitment? Common's reputation had followed him for years. Great relationships. Strong starts, but difficulty locking into a long-term path. Jennifer, according to the way she described things later, wasn't searching for something temporary. When you're a mother, you don't try things out the same way. You don't. Just think about yourself. You think, will this person be consistent around my child? Will this person show up when it matters? Will this person become part of our normal, not just part of a highlight reel? And Jennifer, with maturity, seemed to recognize that love alone couldn't answer those questions. People close to her reportedly encouraged caution, not because they hated Common, but because history teaches lessons. And Common's supporters believed he had grown. That Jennifer might be the person who finally inspired permanence. So you can see the tug-of-war. The public wanted a happy ending. The relationship needed real alignment. And that's where things got difficult. Because when your future picture doesn't match, no matter how sweet the present, feels time forces a decision. For a long time, Jennifer didn't feed the rumors. She didn't play into drama. She didn't post cryptic messages for attention. She didn't attack anyone. She stayed calm. But in Hollywood, silence becomes a story on its own. Eventually, people kept asking the same question until she finally answered it. And when Jennifer spoke, the shock wasn't in what she said. The shock was in how mature it was. She confirmed the relationship was real. Not a stunt, not a misunderstanding, not a PR situation. She spoke with respect about Common, his intelligence, his inspiration, his dedication to his work, Chetty's causes. She didn't sound bitter, she sounded honest. Then she said the line that flipped the whole narrative. Love was there, but alignment, WASN single quotes. TD. Explained that sometimes two good people can care deeply about each other, still be on different paths, different seasons, different timelines. And she didn't frame it like blame, she framed it like truth. She basically communicated a lesson. You can care for someone and still choose what's healthiest for your life. That message hit people hard. Because it didn't sound like a celebrity breakup. It sounded like a real woman speaking from experience. Then, she addressed the elephant people always bring up about Common, his reputation. And again, she didn't attack him. She made it clear she wasn't naive. She wasn't blindsided. She understood who he was. And she chose the relationship with her eyes open. That one detail changed the tone of everything. Because it wasn't a story of betrayal. It became a story of maturity, of choosing peace without turning it into war. Still, media outlets twisted her words into dramatic headlines. Some implied she was exposing him. Others made it seem like she was calling him out. But when you listen carefully, Jennifer's message isn't revenge, it's acceptance. And that's why people couldn't stop talking about it. After Jennifer's comments, the internet did what it always does. It picked a side. Some fans treated her like a hero, praising her for choosing stability, praising her for speaking with dignity, praising her for not turning heartbreak into chaos. Others blamed Common, repeating the narrative that he can't keep a good woman, even though Jennifer herself didn't portray him as a villain. And then there were the hopeful fans, people who believed the door might not be fully closed because Jennifer didn't sound angry. She sounded respectful. And when a breakup is respectful, it confuses the audience. People want drama to make the ending clear. But Jennifer's ending wasn't loud. It was grown. It sparked bigger conversations too. Why do we demand perfect love stories from celebrities? Why do people assume every breakup needs a villain? Why is alignment not discussed enough when it comes to relationships? The story became more than gossip. It became a reminder. Fame doesn't protect you from real relationship problems. Awards don't make compatibility automatic. Chemistry doesn't guarantee a future. Jennifer's openness actually elevated her in many people's eyes. It showed self-awareness, strength, and the kind of emotional maturity that doesn't trend as easily as scandal, but lasts longer. As for Common, the attention on his dating reputation intensified, but his image as a thoughtful, evolving artist remained. And whether they ever reunite or not, their story left something behind. A relationship that wasn't the fairy tale fans wanted, but was real enough to teach a lesson. YouTube outro call to action professional. High retention, so now I want to ask you something based on everything Jennifer said. Do you believe this was simply two good people on different paths? Or do you think something deeper was happening behind the scenes? Because to me, this story proves one thing. Sometimes the strongest breakup isn't the loudest. It's the one where someone chooses peace over performance. If you want more deep dives like this, we go beyond the headlines and break down what's really being said. Make sure you like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one, and comment below. Do you think Jennifer and Common could ever find their way back to each other? Or is this chapter closed for good? Here's the part nobody talks about clearly because it's not dramatic enough for headlines. But it's the most important clue in the entire story. When Jennifer finally spoke, she didn't just confirm a breakup. She quietly revealed something deeper. The relationship didn't end because the love was fake. It ended because Jennifer's definition of love was bigger than romance. Most people hear we weren't aligned and think it means schedules, distance, busy careers. That's true, but it's not the full meaning. When Jennifer said alignment, she wasn't just talking about calendars. She was talking about life structure. A relationship can feel amazing in public and still fail in private because the real question isn't, do we like each other? The real question is, can we live together in the same reality without one person constantly sacrificing their stability? And Jennifer's reality was built around three things. Peace protection. Parenting, that is the twist, because the public was watching a romance, while Jennifer was measuring something else entirely. Long-term safety and consistency. This is why her tone shocked people. She didn't speak like someone who got played. She spoke like someone who made a decision, and that changes everything. The hidden pressure nobody sees. Here's what celebrity couples rarely admit out loud. Fame doesn't just make things harder because people watch you. Fame makes things harder because it changes how people around you behave. Friends, management teams, stylists, publicists, assistants, everyone becomes part of your schedule. And when a relationship begins, it doesn't just involve two people, slowly becomes a network. Now imagine trying to build something real while internet is demanding updates. Blogs are writing narratives you never approved. People are ranking your love like a competition, and strangers are predicting your future like it's a scripted show. That's not romance. That's pressure. And Jennifer is not the kind of woman who thrives under noisy pressure when it comes to her personal world. She has always moved like someone who understands one brutal truth. You can't heal in a house that feels unstable. So when she talked about alignment, it likely included something fans didn't consider. How the relationship affected her home energy, how it impacted her son's stability, how much emotional labor she had to carry, how often she had to be the steady one. And that's where relationships get heavy, because some people don't notice instability until it becomes an emergency. Jennifer seems like the kind of person who notices it early and chooses peace before the damage becomes permanent. The reputation question and why Jennifer didn't expose him. Another twist is how Jennifer handled Common's reputation. A lot of people wanted her to say something harsh. They wanted a quote they could clip. But Jennifer basically said, I knew who he was. I wasn't fooled. That one statement does two things. It protects her dignity, and it removes the villain storyline from the breakup, because if she wasn't blindsided, then it wasn't a betrayal story. It was a compatibility story, a wrong timing story, a different life lane story. And that's why her interview didn't feel messy. It felt controlled. Jennifer didn't sound like someone seeking revenge. She sounded like someone, who finally accepted reality and didn't want to pretend anymore. The real breakup moment might not have been a fight. Here's a truth most adults learn the hard way. Not all breakups happen after an explosion. Some breakups happen after a quiet moment where someone realizes, I'm doing too much adjusting, and I don't feel safe doing that forever. It might have been a simple conversation, not screaming, not accusations, just one of them saying what we want doesn't match, and the other one understanding that kind of ending doesn't go viral because it doesn't create drama, but it hurts differently because it's clean. And clean endings leave less room for fantasies. Why fans still think they might reunite? Now, let's address why people still feel the door isn't fully closed. It's not because there's proof. It's because Jennifer didn't destroy him publicly. When someone breaks up and still speaks with admiration, fans assume they still love each other. And that might be true, but love doesn't automatically mean reunion. Sometimes love means, I respect you, but I respect my future more. And Jennifer's entire message sounded like a woman choosing her future. The twist that leaves people uncomfortable. So here's the real twist. This wasn't a story about Jennifer being left. This was a story about Jennifer being awake. The public expected heartbreak. Jennifer delivered a lesson. And that lesson is uncomfortable because it forces people to admit something they avoid. You can meet an incredible person, still know they're not the person for your life. That is what Jennifer's words implied. Not scandal, not embarrassment, just clarity. And clarity is powerful because it ends fantasy.